Very weird.
T3.
We got your mail. Again, guys, every week I always go through your questions, your comments, your concerns, and I pick them out so we can talk about it right here on the show. So real quick, for We Got Your Mail, we have from Amy Walker writes, what did Bill Burr, do on Breaking Bad? Bill Burr was one of the guys working for Mr. White, to either hide or move the money, clean the money. He was one of those guys. He worked with that actor, that heavyset actor that's now on Better Call Saul. I think they were hired by Saul. So I hope Bill Burr makes an appearance on Better Call Saul. But if you haven't seen it or you don't remember, go to YouTube, type in Bill Burr, Breaking Bad, and it's usually that scene when they were in that container with all that money, and then the black guy had to like lay in it, swim in it. He was like, man, come on, man, what are you Scrooge McDuck? Quit messing around. And then he was like, screw it, and then he had to lay on it. It just felt good to lay on that kind of money. It was a funny scene. And I remember seeing that before I was into watching Bill Burr, but now, and speaking of which, there's going to be some more reactions coming soon for him from your favorite Tiffany Castleberry. Let's see. But thanks for the question, Amy. I appreciate it. Let's see. Next comes Gabe Randall. And Gabe Randall writes, is campy and tropey the same thing? Good question. No, it is not. A campy movie, and I did a video about this, and it's got some decent views, and I appreciate the support on this. I didn't think that. I just got my phone in front of my face and just started answering this question, because when I figured out what it was, I was like, oh yeah, a campy movie. So a campy movie is a movie that's written and produced or shot or directed with the intent to purposely focus on these stereotypical, things like if it's a gangster movie, you're gonna hit every a laundry list of certain stereotypical things that you would see in a gangster movie or an action movie or something, like cliche kind of things. A trope is something within the movie. What's the best way to put it? Like a typical thing, like a trope would be like that thing that's usually done where, for example, you have a hero in a movie, a superhero, and their nemesis, but they start off as friends, or they were brothers or something in the beginning, and then he's destined to become his nemesis. That's a trope within the story. That can get campy, but only if they're like hitting a whole bunch of stereotypical things, like a bunch of tropes within the movie, all done on purpose, or within this one thing. Now, if you do a bunch of tropes, then that can turn the movie campy. But a trope is different. A trope is that one little element, something that has been done multiple times, like that cliche thing or something that's done in some movies. As much as I understand it, I could be smart and just go and just look it up, but I'm just trying to go off of memory of how I understand it. If I'm wrong, and if any of you guys want to correctly define it, help me out and put in the difference between a campy movie and then a trope. I think the trope is within a trope in a movie. But thanks for the question, Gabe. And moving on to the last from a regular here, I'm gonna call this guy the subscriber of the week. It's Eon001. That's EOON001. He goes, I hope Blade is the Tony Hawk of the supernatural phase. There's a rumor about Werewolf by Night appearing in the MCU. You already have Doctor Strange and the Darkhold. Throw in Ghost Rider, Elsa Bloodstone, etc., and you have an interesting lineup. I like it. Blade being the Tony Stark of the group, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. I mean, the guy the by any means necessary kind of guy, yeah, I can see that. Do what's got to be done, yeah, okay. Because when I first read this earlier this week, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But the more there are very similar things about them that I can see based on. Let's just go based on what we've seen in the film, based on what we've seen in the MCU, and based on what we saw Wesley Snipes do in the first 2 Blade movies. I don't even count that third one. That movie never happened. Blade Trinity sucked. Period. Thanks for the question, man. Let's go on. Let's go on to We Got Your Vote. Okay, going to get guys. But We Got Your Vote. And remember, if you want to send something in for We Got Your Mail, just send it in. You can comment, send a question, go at T3 Medias. You can always add us there. And just send a question, a comment, concern, whatever you want to talk about. If you have a specific question that you want us to answer, send it in to me. I appreciate it.
Our supporters help make all this content possible, so make sure you check out our Patreon page so you can help us bring you the content you want.
Push the pedal to the freaking metal. I'm turned up just like heavy metal. Yo. Turned up on another level. Push the pedal to the freaking metal. I'm turned up just like heavy metal.